Our political analyst Khanyi Magubane joins us now via video link to weigh in on the ANC's decision then to expel its former president, Jacob Zuma. Khanyi, good afternoon to you and thank you so much for your time. Let's start with, how the former president is likely to react. We now know, of course, that the NDC says he has 21 days to appeal his expulsion from the party. When you consider, of course, the process to the hearing as well as just the sentiment from the MK party around this particular matter, is he likely then to appeal?
Well, I think he definitely will appeal, though in my point of view, I think he shouldn't. I think that today's address, as we've just seen the SG, it's a very big and watershed moment for the ANC, because this is not an ordinary member of the party. This is the former president of the ANC and the former president of the country. And I think given the heavy blow that Umkhonto Wesizwe dealt the ANC in the recent elections, I think the right thing to do for the former president will be to walk away and focus his attention on Umkhonto Wesizwe, because at the end of the day, even if he does appeal this particular decision that's been taken by the National Disciplinary Committee, it doesn't mean that his appeal will be accepted, and it just prolongs an unnecessary process. I think that he should accept the decision that's been taken, because I think that this is the breaking point, or this is the point where the ANC and Zuma officially part ways. And given where the Umkhonto Wesizwe party is right now, I think that is in any case occupying the former president's attention, and I think that's where he should focus himself. He should leave the ANC behind him. He has made his point. He has taken 58 seats from them in the National Assembly, which is big, which cannot be ignored, and I think that that's where he should focus his attention for now.
And I mean, you say this is a watershed moment. It is, an important moment also for the ANC in as far as self-reflection is concerned. I mean, the party's Secretary General, Fikile Mbalula, delivering that outcome of the DC, saying, dealing with Zuma's hearing was very difficult. He also admitted, though, that, as a party, they are happy that they have finally reached this stage. Of course, 21 days to go. Just how monumental do you think it is for Zuma himself? Because, I mean, he joined the party at youth league stage in 1959, if I've got my numbers correct, but essentially 65 years, in the party. It is also, monumental for him too.
Absolutely, it's no small feat. It's like your grandparents divorcing after 65 years of marriage. It's catastrophic, not just for the two individuals, but for the entire family who've relied on them as a support structure and as the bedrock of the family. And I think, Unaitu, we must just take a very short journey and go back down memory lane to say, as monumental as this moment is, there were many times in the past where South Africans wanted the ANC to take this particular decision, and they didn't. We can look back at Zuma's own presidency, which ended in him being recalled on the 14th of February 2018. And we know that came off the back of some damning findings that were made by former public protector Thuli Madonsela, who had found that he had benefited improperly from the state on upgrades to his home in Nkandla. And that was the bedrock which led to him being recalled. We know that he had initially refused, but the ANC had indicated that they would support a motion of no confidence in him in the National Assembly if he did not resign on his own accord, and therefore pushing him into a tight corner to resign. And that was the time when South Africans wanted the National Disciplinary Committee to spring into action and take the decisions that it has now taken because of Umkhonto Wesizwe. So what we've seen is that the ANC has failed in the past to be this decisive when the former president still enjoyed allies and support within the NECs and within the top structures that have over and over again protected him. However, this time around, there was no way that committee could protect him in any shape or form because the damage has been too catastrophic to the ANC.
And I mean, just listening to Fikile Mbalula, it's probably why, I mean, a lot of people have been asking, why did it take you this long to come to this decision? I mean, like he rightfully said, you know, this is the first time that they are here in uncharted water, essentially, because he is the most senior person to have been brought into this particular DC. But he also said, you know, and I want to read from what he said earlier on. He says that Zuma actively impugned the integrity of the ANC and campaigned to dislodge the ANC from power while maintaining his membership as an ANC member. So Jacob Zuma's role then, of course, in where we are seeing the ANC now, way under that 50% they thought that they were going to get in the 29 May election, in fact, sitting at 40%.
I think there's no denying that the ANC feels deeply betrayed by the former president, Jacob Zuma. For them to be sitting in the position that they are sitting in now, I think that in as much as we can look at voter apathy and we can look at other voting patterns that may have caused them to lose support, but we cannot deny the role that Umkhonto weSizwe's rise and support has played in bringing the ANC to its knees. And now we find ourselves in the government of national unity as a direct result of the heavy blows that the party has suffered. And I think that if the ANC wants to preserve any kind of integrity and wants to rebuild the party, it cannot do so whilst the former president is still within its ranks, because he cannot have one leg in the ANC and another in the MK. And so I do think that even within the 21 days, if he does appeal this decision, I think that appeal is going to be turned down. This is definitely the end of the road, in my opinion, for Jacob Zuma and the ANC.
Let's look then at the MK party role. I mean, this would probably be an opportune time, you know, for the MK party to start looking at its own internal affairs, some analysts are saying. I mean, it has responded, of course, to this particular matter of the expulsion, saying that the ANC unfairly handled that entire disciplinary, matter unfairly, but also just, the MK party responding to this particular matter and saying that the ANC was unfair to its leader. Just talk to us about your sentiments around the MK's role in these particular matters. I mean, in fact, Fikile Mbalula also in that press conference saying that the ANC did not charge the MK party, it in fact charged Jacob Zuma.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that the MK party is overreaching. I mean, they're going into matters that are outside of their jurisdiction because they have nothing to do with the internal processes of the ANC. And despite the role that the former president may currently play in the MK, I don't think that they have anything to do with how the ANC conducts its business, especially given that this disciplinary hearing was conducted within the auspices of the ANC's constitution. Hence, the SG Fikile Mbalula was able to point to specific sections of the constitution. I think that they may have crossed a boundary, and they know that. It's really like trying to stick your nose into what's happening in your neighbor's house. You know that they're hoping to get some relevance, but unfortunately they're not going to get any relevance because they have no influence on ANC's policy. And if anything, they should then look internally at their own systems, because there's nothing stopping them from finding themselves in similar positions as they had with Ujabulani Khumalo recently, who was touted as the founder of Umkhonto weSizwe. And so I think that it's important for the MK as a young party to understand that what happens with the ANC and with regards to the former president, they have no jurisdiction over that. Yes, they can comment over what they feel are unfair processes, but unfair according to who and according to what? Because the ANC is acting, as far as we know, only according to the Constitution as guided by the National Disciplinary Committee.
Khanyi, thank you so much for that. Of course, let's leave it there for now. Khanyi Magubane is a political analyst, just weighing in then on the ANC's decision to expel its former president, Jacob Zuma.